Now we begin, of course, with the start of Pope Francis's 5-day visit to Korea. It's his first trip to Asia since he was elected last year. He arrived in Seoul this Thursday morning and was welcomed in person by President Park Geun-hye. Now let's turn to our presidential office correspondent Choi You-sun for more details. You-sun.
Hyun-kyung. Pope Francis landed at the Seoul Airport, which is just south of Seoul, at 10:15 a.m. earlier today, after which he was greeted by President Park, officials and representatives from the Korean Catholic Church. Upon meeting the Pope, the president said that she hoped Koreans would be warmly consoled by the Pope's visit and that it would start an era of peace and reconciliation on the divided Korean peninsula. The Pope, in response, said he carried peace in his heart on his way here. 32 Catholics were invited to greet the Pope, and including the families of the victims of April's deadly ferry disaster, to whom the Pope said he shared in their heartache and thinks of the victims. After a private mass at the Vatican Embassy in Seoul, where he'll be staying throughout his visit, the pontiff will make a courtesy call to President Park later this afternoon and speak in front of Korean government officials. One thing to keep an eye on today is what the Pope and the president will discuss and the message they will convey following their talks, especially in regards to the inter-Korean relations as well as historical differences that have caused tensions here in Northeast Asia. Hyun-kyung?
Well, the Pope does have a jam-packed schedule. Tell us more about what we can expect in the coming days.
Well, on the papal itinerary for the rest of the week are officiating a mass to celebrate the Assumption of the Virgin Mary on Friday in the central Daejeon area, and beatifying 124 Korean martyrs in downtown Seoul on Saturday. And there will be two other masses, one on Sunday to mark the closing of the 6th Asian Youth Day, and another one on Monday on peace and reconciliation here in Seoul at the Myeongdong Cathedral. Pope Francis, who had specifically prayed for peace and reconciliation on the divided Korean peninsula during his first Easter Mass last year, is expected to deliver some sort of a message on easing tensions between the two Koreas during Monday's Mass. Seoul earlier this week proposed inter-Korean talks to seek improving ties, an offer Pyongyang has yet to respond to. It's also speculated that the Pope will meet with Korean victims of Japan's wartime sexual slavery during his trip. With President Park due to speak on Friday to mark Korea's liberation from Japan's colonial rule, it will be interesting to see what message the president makes concerning Japan's repeated denials of past atrocities and ways to improve bilateral ties. This was Choi You-sun reporting on Pope Francis' visit to Korea this week, and I'll bring you more details on our next newscast.